All right, man. D Works again, once again, with another episode or snippet, rather, of the Big Hots. Here talking to my man Mike again. Basically, our first interview, he told us about his business ventures as far as with the trucks, the dump trucks, and also with real estate. Can you start off again by just telling us some of the ups and downs you deal with? I mean, we know it's good parts of the business, but tell us about the downside first. The things you got to go through, your overhead and whatnot.
Okay. Well, with the real estate, the main downside can be the money can come in, but the money is real slow because it's almost like I look at real estate as a backup retirement plan.
Right.
Because you get it in place, money come in, but you got to pay your mortgages or whatever. But when the money do come in, pretty much you got to hold on to it because with tenants, they might not always treat the property like it's theirs, or things can go wrong, like toilets, the roof, anything. So much can go wrong when you own houses.
So it's good to have money just set aside for things of that nature, like if a tenant don't pay on time or
that's the big
things you got to fix.
Yeah, the big one is they may not pay. Because the fact that if they don't pay, I still got, you as a landlord, you still got to pay that mortgage regardless.
Right.
You still got to pay the bank. So you got to have money set aside at all times for anything that breaks, or even if something don't break, you still got to pay the mortgage if they don't pay you. And if you evict them, you still got to.
Have you ever had to evict someone?
Yeah, I have. It's not a good feeling, but you got to keep emotions out of it because it's business.
Exactly.
You pretty much got to just keep a business head and do what you got to do. Have all your paperwork and everything in place. And the tenant should understand if you don't pay, you can't stay, So with that being said, it's not a good feeling, but you just got to do what you got to do because at the end of the day, you need the money because if you don't pay it, it's going to hurt you in the long run.
Exactly. Now, what about some of the good things as far as real estate concerned?
The good thing about real estate is that, like I said, it's a long-term investment. It's almost like a long-term savings plan. That's how I try to look at it. So through all the ups and downs, whether I'm having to pay mortgages when nobody's in the property, or whether I'm having to fix something, I just look at it like I'm paying myself long-term. And as long as you keep that as your main focus, it helps you get through the ups and the downs.
Okay. Last time you mentioned as far as your work as an engineer, and you was mentioning a glass ceiling. Explain what you meant by having that type of job as opposed to having your own.
Okay. Basically, like with a W-2 income, it's pretty much you controlled by your employer.
Right.
You controlled by what they pay you. A lot of people nowadays I've heard haven't gotten raises in several years with the economy the way it is.
Right.
And also people, you can only get as many hours as they allow you. So as an engineer, there were times where they gave me the green light. I could work 70 hours a week,
right,
and make that sacrifice. But then they cut that back. So now that they cut that back, you put me in a position where I learned to live a certain lifestyle at 70 hours. But now you telling me I can only work 40 or 50. So now I have to change that and not being. So what I mean by glass ceiling is it's really controlled by them. If they allow me to work it, I can work it. But being a business owner, I don't having a non-W-2 income. I get to control it because I can go out there, buy another house. That's another stream of income. Or if I got 2 or 3 trucks, if I want to get another stream of income, I can buy a 4th truck. So every time I add on business, it can add on income. But with that, you add on more risk as well as more headaches. But that's what you dealing with in business. The more headaches you got, the more money you putting yourself able to get.
And I think that's part of the fear, that initial fear that some people don't have the fear. And like I was talking to another person, they don't have the fear, but they think it's gonna be easy, a cakewalk. And then when things don't work out, then they might just go back and get a job. But truth be told, they could have just planned different, or they just could have did their research. And a lot of us don't do research.
Yeah.
Okay. Your dump truck business doing fine?
Yeah.
How many trucks you got?
It's going great. I got 3 trucks now. My first year into it, I started out with 1 truck. Year 2, I added on another truck. Here I'm in year 3, and I added on the 3rd truck. So I'm pretty much got a track record where I'm adding on a truck a year.
Okay.
But it's ups and downs with that. Also, maintenance is a big key when it comes to trucks.
I can imagine.
Maintenance can kill you, and also drivers. It's kind of like real estate. Real estate, you may treat your home a certain way, and the attendant may not treat them a certain way. Man, just like the trucks, you may get a driver that ain't treating the truck like it's his, but if you go out there and drive it yourself, you're gonna treat it like at the end of the day, whatever go wrong, you gotta pay for it. So,
that's right.
You know, I mean, it's been ups and downs into that as well. But you know, my key thing, I try to surround myself around people that've been in the business for a while and just try to learn off them. So, you know, I got a couple guys, one best friend of mine that he been in the truck business for about 10 years. So I try to stay connected with him. So certain mistakes and things that he may have went through in the past, I can try to cut that out, you know.
Okay. In closing, got about a minute left.
Okay.
The last time I talked to you, you mentioned your approach, your business approach is a little different, and it's a good approach. You mentioned that you meet people and you get with people that's already doing what you're trying to do.
Right.
Explain the importance of that.
The importance of that is that I feel that if I just go out there on my own, just gun-ho and try something new, but I don't actually go do no research and connect myself to somebody that's already successful, then I'm gonna have to go. You're gonna have obstacles no matter what you do.
Right.
But if you connect yourself with someone that's already in business, that you consider successful, that way they can mentor you and trying to, you know, show you the ropes.
Right.
That way mistakes that they made, they'll teach you that to try to limit your mistakes. And that can be helpful in the long run because you're gonna make mistakes. But if you can learn from other people, I think that's one of the keys to success in business.
That's good. And truth be told, a lot of people don't realize that people are willing to help. They can't wait to share information.
Right.
Sometimes you might run into a case where people want to hide the information for themselves, or they don't want to see another person maybe surpass them. But for the most part, people don't mind sharing. A lot of us just scared to ask.
Right.
And like I said, this show is designed to help people get over the fear and just inspire them to go out there and chase their dreams, you know.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5, but it's just that if you really got something deep inside burning, pushing you to go the extra mile or go another route, then just go out there. And once again, this is the Big Hearts episode, and I'm D-Works, and I thank y'all for tuning in and listening. All right, Mike, good luck with your work.